Today, we are going to discuss the very important chapter, networking setup. We have entered second part this week and next week. We will completely discuss about networking servers. We have 2 weeks pending classes this week and next week. Mostly, I will finish the syllabus in the next week. Right. So in the networking setup, after installing Linux operating system in the real environment, we will set up host names, IP address, mapping information, port number verifications, DNS resolutions, remote server connectivity options, and system services management, firewalls management. So everything you will manage it. So now today I will show you how to set up networking environment for the Linux server. So after installing new Linux server, how to set up network. Okay, right. So the first one is how to managing system host name. Host name means it is a computer name. Generally, host names in the real environment, FQDNs are. FQDN is nothing but fully qualified domain name. Fully qualified domain name. The meaning is host name plus domain name. Host name plus domain name is nothing but fully qualified domain name. So host name means your computer name. Domain name means mostly your working domain name, example.com, ibm.com. So those are the what domain names. Okay, what is your current fully qualified domain name or your computer host name? How to check it? Then we will use host name is the command. The current host name is localhost dot local domain. Localhost dot local domain. So how to change the host name? So you want to change the host name, then you can use the command again hostname space your computer hostname. Okay, let me keep my computer hostname is server. Then what is your domain name? Okay, my domain name is, for example, example.com. So this is called what? Fully qualified domain name. Computer name plus domain name is nothing but fully qualified domain name. So by default, every Linux server has localhost.local domain. So you want to change this host name. Host name is the command. Space, you can write the word host name. If I enter, the host name successfully updated. If you run host name command, then server.example.com. Or even we can use host name CTL is the option. So this is also, we can set the word host name. Right now, the computer host name is server.example.com. Fine. So by default, this host name is temporary host name. The meaning is if you take system reboot, then host name goes to again localhost.local domain. Then how to change the host name permanently? How to change the host name permanently? Then we will use the file name /etc/hostname. We will use the file name /etc/hostname. So this is the command. This is the file to change the host name persistently. That meaning is permanently. If I run, then my computer host name is, let me keep the same name, server.example.com. Server.example.com. So now the system host name is fixed with server.example.com. Just save the file. Okay, then still your computer displays localhost is the host name, but you want to update the host name, just run the command bash. So now it will update the what? Your computer host name. So instead of localhost, Now your computer host name is server. Otherwise, you can update what your computer host name, close your terminal and reopen with any new terminal. Automatically, your host name has been updated. Now my computer host name is server.example.com. I mean, the name of the computer is server.example.com. So this is the proper way to updating computer host name. This is the first requirement, how to change the host name. So what is our host name? Host name is the command, or we can use host name ctl is the command. So right now our computer host name is server.example.com. Fine. Then the second important thing, how to managing IP address. Okay, every computer has one IP address. So you want to communicate another computer, or you want to get a internet or any other things. So every computer needs one numerical address. So which is called what? IP address, Internet Protocol address. Okay, how to check the IP address? Just we will use the command ifconfig. So ifconfig is the command to verify the IP addresses. So what is my current IP address? 192.168.10.10 is my computer IP address right now. But remember, in the left side, we have predicatable network interface device names. The interface name is ENS160. So mostly interface means hardware elastic network interface cards. I mean, it is called what? NIC cards, NIC cards. So hardware people knows NIC, network interface cards. The same thing in AWS environment, NIC card, network interface card. Okay. So by default in Linux environment, the NIC cards names are EN. I mean, it is called what? ETH, ETH0 and ENS and ENS 160 and ENO. So like we have different interface names based on kernel update. But in the AWS environment, you will get interface names ETH0, ETH1, ETH2 like that. But any interface name, almost ETH or ENS or EN0. So this is the what? Our current interface name in the Linux. Okay. So the current interface name is ENS160, but every interface has one IP address. So this is the what? The current IP address of this interface. I mean, this computer IP address is this is. Even we can verify the what? IP address with IP space A. So in the IP space A, the interface address is 192.168.10.10. But before changing IP address, how do you know that your net mask? The meaning is your current network address. If you run a route command, so in myself, so my current network address is 192.168.10.0. So the meaning is you will keep the what IP address either 192.168.10 up to 10, it is a network ID. Up to 10, it is a network ID. So then instead of 0, you will use 1 na 2 na 3 na 4 up to 255. So now already the system has 192.168.10.10. So you want to change the IP address, but don't modify these three values. So my network ID is 192.168.10. But instead of 0, you will keep 10 na 20 na 30 na 254 or something like. Okay. So now I want to change the IP address, but generally changing IP address is two methods. I mean, assigning IP address are two methods. One is static method and the second one is dynamic method. One is static method, second one is dynamic method. So what is the difference between static method and dynamic method? Static means fixed IP address. I mean, we cannot change. But dynamic means automatic network address. Automatic network address. So dynamic IPs are not fixed, but static IP addresses are fixed. But you want to assign dynamic address, but by default, this IP address is dynamic. But where is the details? I mean, this is the what static or dynamic. So we have a file, and within this, under SAS etc systems, I think network manager, it is called like system connections, ENS 160 NM connection is the file name. So this is the configuration file for the IP address management. So you want to change the IP address or you want to update the IP address, just we will use the word this configuration file. This file is for IP address update management. So within this file, see this. Already our interface name is ENS 160, right? So now IPv4 section is there, IPv6 section is there. But right now systems are uses IPv4 only. So that's why here is the word IPv4. The method of IP address is auto. Auto is nothing but the system currently uses dynamic method. Auto means automatic. So dynamic method. Okay. So now just save the file. And even the another method is how to changing the IP address. We can use the word nmcli is the command name. nmcli. So nmcli. So this is the word network module command line interface. Okay. So nmcli means right now your device is connected to ENS 160. So the backend is VMware platform and the current IP address of the server is 192.168.10.10, and then here the DNS address is right now 192.168.10.2, and the domain name is running local domain and the interface is running ENS 160. So now nmcli is the command to verify the what your interface details and everything. Fine. So now you want to get nmcli any device name. So for example, my device name is ENS 160. ENS 160 nmcli. It is called what? Connection. nmcli connection. So is the option. So right now your nmcli connections are ENS 160 device is there and LO device is there. LO is nothing but loopback address. Every system has loopback address. This is for testing purpose, but don't consider this LO. Every system has LO. But please be consider the what our interface name is ENS 160. ENS 160. Okay. So how to update your IP address? How to update IP address? So now this is the good command to assign new IP or to update new IP address for the computer. So nmcli again is the command. Then con is the connection. Okay, let me modify the what IP address. That's why modify is the option. And then with single quotes. So generally ENS 160 is my interface because we are updating IP address for the interface of ENS 160. That's why ENS 160 is my interface name. Then IP name is the option. That is called what? IP address of the computer. So again, our interface name is ENS 160. Then what is the IP method, which is called what? IPv4 dot method. IPv4 dot method. The meaning is we are updating IP address for the computer of the IP version 4. Then space. I mean, do you want dynamic IP or static IP? So I want to run the what static method. That's why we will use manual is the keyword. Manual is the keyword. So you want to use the word dynamic, then you can use the word auto is the keyword. Auto is the keyword. So right now I want to change dynamic IP. So that's why it is called what? Manual option. Then space IP v4 is the address. And now here is the keyword IP addresses. Okay. Which IP address you want to change it? Okay. Let me do 192.168.10. So my network ID is first three bits 192.168.10 dot. Then already 10 is there. So let me add 254 is my new IP address for this computer. 254 is my new address for this computer. Then space, okay, by 24. By 24 is nothing but netmask ID, which is fixed for the class C. I mean 255.255.255.0. That is the meaning of 24. Then space GW. GW is nothing but gateway for address, but every computer has one gateway 192.168.10.1 or 10.2. Generally, gateway address meaning is like it is called what? The each series, first IP address or second IP address, people to provide the what gateway. It is called what? Network address. Then let me take my gateway address is 1. Within the series, the first IP address goes to gateway. I mean these IP address and gateway address provided by network people. So based on provided details, we need to add the what IP address and the gateway details. If I enter, so now IP address is successfully updated. IP address successfully updated. Then after that, if you run if config command, but still the IP address is 10.10 only. Still IP address is 10.10 only. Then what to do? First important thing, with help of again nmcli command, in the connection, first down the IP address, down the IP address of your interface name is ENS160. So let me down first interface. So now interface is deactivated. If I up again the same interface, then it will update the what? Your new details with the new IP addresses. So this is the way to changing IP address. So now if I run if config command, then what is my computer IP address? 192.168.10.254 is my computer IP address. So instead of 10, now we have 254 is the what? My IP address. So this is the proper way to changing IP address in your computer. And next, you want to update DNS details. I mean, you want to get internet connection in case in the company provides DNS server, then how to update DNS server NMCLI connection up, connection up, or the simple meaning is connection modify space. I want to add the word ENS 160 space IPv4 dot DNS dot DNS space. Okay, for example, my DNS address is 192.168.10.2 is my DNS address. Okay, people will provide the DNS address mostly 8.8.8.8, 4.4.4.4, something like DNS address. What is the purpose of DNS? It is called what? Domain naming system. You want to get internet connections or you want to communicate domain people, then we will use the what? DNS address. But later I will tell you what is the DNS server, but how to update DNS server address, this is the command. If I enter, now DNS server address is successfully updated. But remember, where is these details? I mean, even if you run your connection down and connection up, connection down and connection up, then if you run if config command, so now here IP address of the server and even those details are updated in the file of network manager. I mean, see this. What is the difference between before update and after update of your configuration file? I mean, IP address configuration file. So now within this file, previously we have only method is auto is there, but now two fields are updated automatically. What are the two fields? Address one, I mean your computer IP address is 10.254. Okay, and then this is the what gateway address, and now the DNS server address is 10.2. So means multiple things are automatically updated. The meaning is when will you update IP address through nmcli command, automatically this file will be updated. This file will be updated. Otherwise, you can add the details directly here manually. I mean these details just add here, then automatically it will update it. So either we can modify the file or we can update the through commands. Okay, this is the proper way to managing IP address in your computer. Then save the file. After modify this configuration file, then again we will run if config down and if config up. Okay, same way. And next, you don't know the command. I mean, where is the DNS address details? Generally, the DNS address details are in the /etc resolve.conf file. So this is repeated interview question. Which file is maintained DNS address resource? I mean the cat, I mean /etc resolve.conf file maintain your DNS server details. If I enter, see this. The DNS server is name server space 192.168.10.2. The name server is 192.168.10.2. Even you want to change the DNS address directly. So in this file, okay, just I want to keep my DNS server is 3. Then we can change the DNS server details here. Directly we can use. But remember the DNS address running with keyword name server. So because DNS server, another name is name server. What is the responsibility of the DNS server? It's mapping IP address to name and name to IP address. But later I will tell you at the time of DNS concept what exactly mean by name server. So now let me save it. Okay, DNS server successfully updated. So this is the way to managing IP addresses in your computers. Okay, so now let me check my computer IP address is 10.254. If I run route command, in the route command, see this. This is my network 192.168.10.0. Okay, so this IP address is assigned to ENS 160 interface name because my interface name currently showing ENS 160. That's why we have updated to IP address of this interface. Okay, so now the another important thing. So the beauty in the Linux environment, even you will get a repeated interview question, how to verify the host name. I mean, before before setting up resolution work process, so already you know that ping command. Generally, what is meant by ping command? Ping utility to verify that host can send packets to other hosts. I mean, it is a ICMP protocol. It is a ICMP protocol which is used to testing destination host systems. So now, how do you know the remote server is alive or not? I mean, is it under network or not? So then ping space your computer, remote server computer address. Okay, for example, just assume the remote server computer address is 254, but just for testing purpose, we have used the same address. But when the network, I mean, when the remote system is under the network, then this is the way the communication is Okay, it's running or not, you can verify that. I mean, when the output is looking like this, then what happened? Okay, the system is under the network. You want to cancel this, Control C is the option to stop the what? Packet transfer. And you want to test any particular times, that is meaning is C3 for example. I mean, it will test 3 times only. It will transfer the what packets 3 times, 1, 2, 3. So now here it is called what? Completely 3 system. Okay, it is called what? 1, 2, 3 systems. I mean 3 network packets. Okay, this is the way to verifying the remote server. I mean network connectivity is success or failure. Then, for example, we don't have any 10 system. Okay, so then what happens is ping 192.168.10.10 destination host unreachable. Unreachable is nothing but what? 10.10 system not available in our network. So then it will stop that Control C. Okay, for example, let me use another VM. This is the what my another computer. Okay, just I will open the what another computer. So now in my system, I mean in my VMware, 2 systems are running. Generally, this system IP address is 100. So now let me test. So current my server is, it is called what? 10.254 this system is 10.254. From the 10.254 to 10.100, I want to test it. See this 10.100 is available. Okay, this is the way to manage, I mean the remote server is alive or not. The remote server is alive or not. Fine. Next one. In the real environment, people to manage not only with IP addresses, even they will test with computer domain names or host names. Computer domain names and host names. I mean, just now this computer IP addresses, I have specified server.example.com. Server.example.com. So if I run server.example.com, what happens? So ping server example.com, it's pinging with another IP address of this. But actually, I want to ping with 192.168.10.100. Then how to host mapping? How to host mapping? So this is the very beautiful option in the environment. So host utility to verify that the name resolution works. That the name resolution works. So the meaning is in the /etc/hosts is the file name. The /etc/hosts file maintain host resolution. Host resolution means, so in the left side is, let me keep my computer IP address of 10.254. 10.254 is my IP address. Then in the right side, what is your computer domain name? Server.example.com. And even some people will write only computer name also. So then what is the meaning here? If you add the details in this etc host file, then instead of this IP address, people will connect remote servers, people will test remote servers with names also. I mean, no need to type the what IP address. Instead of IP, you will type the what domain names also. Because compared to IP address, so the person easily to remember with domain names or computer names. That's why in the etc host file, maintain host mappings, host mapping. Then let me test, save the file and go for previously server.example.com means it is a different IP. Now see that server.example.com mapping with 192.168.10.254 is perfectly working. Then what is the reason? Just now we have updated etc host file. So that host file maintain host mapping information. So instead of this IP address, and people will choose the word server.example.com, or even we can use the word alias name server only. So even in the same file, I have updated server also. So server also mapping with 192.168.10.255. So this is the way to managing host mapping information. So this is also important update in the environment. And next, how to verify network interfaces details. So for example, eth tool is the command. Eth tool is the command. Now my interface name is ENS160. Generally, I want to know that ENS160 interface details. If I enter, see this, the ENS160 interface supported 1000 base full access. The meaning is the speed is 10,000 MB per second. The meaning is this interface supports per second 10,000 MB, and it supports full duplex, I mean in and out, and linked detected. Yes, the meaning is this device is already connected and working. So you want to get the what interface details. That interface supports how much speed, or that interface is active or inactive. So you want to get it. Eth tool is the command. Eth tool space your interface name. Fine. And the next one is how to verify the port numbers in the Linux. So remember guys, in the Linux environment, to verify the port numbers, netstat is the command. This is a repeated interview question. How to check port numbers in the Linux? Netstat is the command. The meaning is network statistics. So with the network statistics, we will use multiple options P, A, N, T, L. It is not a word, it is an options. P is the option, A is the option. I mean output simplification. P for process, A for all, N for number, T for TCP, L for list. If I enter, now see. So right now, only few ports are open. What are that? 631 port is open, 22 port is open, and 631, 22. So these two ports are running. So 631 is running for COPSD service. COPSD means it is a COPSD related to, it is a fax printer related service. And 22 is, it is called what? SSH service. So SSH right now running with port number 22, and CUP service running with 631 port number. So two ports are open. So that's what I'm saying. How to verify that port numbers? Netstat is the very beautiful command, netstat. In case netstat command not found, then interviews people are asking, okay, I'm trying to verify the what port numbers with help of netstat command. So netstat command not found, or if config command is not found, then how can you troubleshoot it? So this is important option. So backend, the pack is running with net tools. The backend pack is running with what? Net tools. I mean, I told you yum command already. If I remove yum remove net hyphen tools, this net hyphen tools, uh, I mean, net hyphen tools running with two commands. One is netstat command, another one is ifconfig command. When the nettools package is erased, I mean when the nettools package is removed, then ifconfig is not working. I mean ifconfig is not working, command not found, and also nettools also not working. I mean netstat command also not working. Okay, because nettools provides multiple network statistics commands. So that's why the very important command, please be install nettools package for the ifconfig and netstat command purpose. When the netstat or ifconfig command is not working, and please be install nettools package. Remember this point. Okay, now nettools package successfully installed. If you run ifconfig, see, perfectly working. Even netstat command also perfectly working. Okay, this is the what? Another important update. Next, how to managing services in the environment. Generally, I told you the backend services running with systemd. Systemd provides your services with a single command, systemctl, right? So systemctl space, we have multiple options, like it is called what? Stop option, restart option, reload option, status option, right? So we have multiple options with systemd. Then backend, it is called what? Service name. The another one is service name. For example, you want to stop the service, or you want to start the service, or you want to enable the service. Just only one command with a systemctl. Okay. Right now, I want to verify systemctl status SSHD. That SSHD is running or not. How do I know that? So systemctl status SSHD. If I enter, right, perfectly, SSHD is right now running state. This is the command to verify status of the service. And now you want to stop the service, then what to do? Here it is called what? Stop the service. Systemctl stop SSHD. Now verify the status. So right now that SSH service is inactive. Inactive. I mean dead state. Then what to do? You want to start again. We can use the what again? Start is the option. Then status is running. This is the proper way to managing any service. So right now this service is related to server.example.com, but backend this systemctl managed by systemd, and it's running with what? Open SSH server. It's listening the port number 22. So that's why in the netstat command 22 port number is listening for the SSHD service. Okay, this is the one way to managing services in current stage. But what about the services at boot time? I mean, if I take again reboot my computer, if I reboot my computer again, the SSHD services inactive mode. I mean, again, it will stop that. But sir, actually, I want to make services persistently. I want to make service persistently. I mean, the service will automatically turn on at boot time. At boot time means at a restarting time. That's why after starting services, everyone to enable services like systemctl enable SSHD. If I enter, so now service is enabled. Enabled means it is called what? Okay. At boot time, service is turned on. In case you don't want to turn on the service at boot time, it is called what? Disable. It is called what? Disable. So now I want to enable the what? Service. Now service has been enabled. But everything with systemctl in the current operating system. That's what in the system D. The system D provides only one command, which is called what? Systemctl. But in earlier, it is called what I told you, init command. So instead of systemd, init in the traditional OS. Init provides service command actually. Init provides service command. But latest operating systems provide systemd with systemctl. But old editions, people are using service SSHD start, service SSHD restart, like that. Service is the what? Old command. But new command is everything with systemctl based on the what? Your first login process. Okay. So these are the what? Commands to managing services. But now in the latest OS, systemctl is the command. Okay, how do you know the system firewalls are running or not? So sometimes in the environment, people to stop the what firewalls or people to enable the what firewalls. So again, with the system CTL command, okay, right now in the status, firewall means firewall D is the option. Service name is firewall D. So right now, the firewall status is running. The firewall status is running. Okay, I don't want actually firewalls. In this system, I want to stop the what firewalls. So in the real time, even Linux administrators sometimes will stop the what firewalls. Otherwise, in the big project, these firewalls, security purpose, separate team people are there. They will take care of the what firewalls of your computer. But you want to stop the firewalls, then systemctl, which is stop firewall day. Now firewalls has been stopped. Then check its status. So the firewall status is inactive mode. Okay, but I want to turn off the what firewalls even at boot time. Then I will use disable is the option to stop the what firewalls. Now firewalls has been disabled. Okay, so now the firewall status is disabled and you want to enable, then here it is called what enabled option. Okay, right now firewalls are not running. Again, you want to turn on the firewalls, systemctl start firewall D, systemctl enable firewall D. This is the what managing firewalls in case if you want to stop your firewalls. By default, firewall status are running. By default, firewalls are running in your Linux systems. Fine. And the next, another one is for the security update, people will manage SC Linux in the Linux environment. What is meant by SC Linux? SC Linux is a security enhanced Linux. Like in AWS environment, security groups, firewalls rules. Okay, so now if you disable the port, then we cannot access the what application. So now security level, Linux offers SC Linux policies like security enhanced Linux, security enhanced Linux. But what about the current stage of SC Linux? Here it is called what? Get enforce is the command to verify the current state of the SC Linux. So now the current status of the SC Linux is enforcing. Enforcing means right now firewalls are enabled. So SC Linux also related to firewall policies. Okay, but these options mostly in the environment people take care of the what networking team. I mean security team people. But in case sometimes you want to manage the policies, definitely knowledge and SC Linux. So get enforce means it is nothing but running state. Enforcing is nothing but running. But you want to manage temporarily, set enforce is the command. Set enforce. If you run 0 option, then SC Linux has been stopped. It is enforcing to permissive mode. And even you want to enable the what SC Linux, 1 is the option. Again, the system back to enforcing. I mean, we have only 2 commands to managing the what SC Linux. Get enforce means to verifying the policy. Set enforce means to change the what policy. 0 means disable, 1 means enable. Okay, but how to change SC Linux policies permanently? But when will you execute everything with commands? Mostly commands with what temporarily. But at boot time, system consider files only. I mean, which file to maintain this SC Linux policies? The file name is /etc SC Linux config is the file name. So this file maintain SC Linux policy statuses. I mean, within this file, what is the current status? SC Linux is enforcing. SC Linux is right now enforcing state. So then how to change it? Here see that either we can use enforcing method, or you can use the permissive method, or you can use the word disabled method. Disabled means no SLNX policy is loaded. Permissive mode means SLNX prints warnings instead of enforcing. Enforcing means what? It is called what? Enabled. Policies are enabled option. Three options are there. But I want to stop the what? SLNX policies. Then what to do? Let me keep SLNX is disabled. SLNX is disabled. But what are the options? How to enable the port numbers with SLNX in the server level? I will tell you mostly tomorrow onwards. Okay, but in future, even everything you will discuss, guys. What is the SLNX and what is the DNS address? What is the NFS? What is the FTP? And multiple things are there. In future, we will discuss it. Then save the file. If you want to disable SLNX, then SLNX is disabled. See that fully disabled SLNX during boot. If you need a system with SLNX, so then what to do? SLNX is disabled option. Save the file. So you want to update SLNX at boot time, 100% reboot section is required. 100% rebooting is required. So now let me take the what? Reboot option. Then reboot it. Now the system currently taking reboot option. So at boot time, the firewalls will be stopped, SLNX will be disabled, and lot of updates automatically updated. So after rebooting, again we can verify the what? Things. So like what is the current status of the SLNX, what is the current status of your host name, what is the current status of the IP address, and everything is persistent or not based on your details. Just observe. Okay, system got rebooted. I mean, you have successfully rebooted your computer. So after rebooting, now we can verify. So all details are correct or not. I mean, your details are updated or not. We can check. First, I will verify the what my host name still. The host name is server.example.com or not. Perfect. And still my IP address is 10.10 at 10.254. 10.254 is a persistent. And now let me verify the system CTL status firewall D. I have stopped at boot time. That's why status is inactive. Okay, status is inactive. And what about at enforcing of the SC-Linux is disabled state? Perfect. So once all details are updated, then this system, I mean, dedicated to particular people. I mean, the person is asking one new Linux server with network details. So Linux engineer role is the one. After updating these all network details, yes, your server is ready with host name, IP address, host name mappings, and everything. And please be use this 192.168.10.254 is your server. So now people will install the word maybe application server, or maybe they will use the word web server, they will use the word network server, or anything they will use it. But how to build the new servers as a Linux engineer in the real environment? How people to build the new servers? I mean, after installing Linux operating system, what kind of things in the networking level we need to modify? I mean, these are all details you must to update it. Once all are updated, your server is ready for deployments. I mean, application deployment or database deployment or anything, you can use it. So this is a repeated question for the experienced level people. So can you explain what files you will be update after installing new Linux server? Okay, what kind of things you will update it? Okay, I will modify the what host names. I will modify the what IP addresses, and we are setting up host name mappings, and we are updating DNS address. We are updating firewalls, and we are updating status of the systems, and we will verify the what port numbers and everything. Then they will ask you, okay, what is the file name to update your computer host name? /etc/host is the file name. Okay. What is the file name to changing DNS address? /etc/resolve.conf file. May I know where is the fixed IP address settings? Can you tell me what is the file name? Okay. /etc sysconfig /network hyphen connections under ens160.connection is the what file name. Within the file, IP details are available. Okay, what is the command to change the IP address? NMCLI connection. Okay, so like they will ask different file names, different questions based on your network setup. Okay, this is the what today lecture. I mean how to build the new server with network setups. And tomorrow section, I will tell you how to enable remote services for the server. Okay, I want to provide the server remotely. Then what kind of protocols we will use in the real time? What is mean by telnet? What is mean by SSH? What is mean by SCP? And like what is mean by passwordless login techniques? And tomorrow section, one more very important lecture, how to managing remote services concept. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any queries, please ask me. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, Ram. Yep.
It's clear, but a lot of information, so we have to go through the video.
Correct. Actually, it is a good lecture. In the real environment, even DevOps engineers, AWS engineers, Linux engineers to build what networking environment, same files, the same process. Okay. So please do the practice, everyone. Even tomorrow lecture also very important in the security level. People know only SSH, but what exactly SSH will do in the real time, tomorrow I will tell you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.